Hello, my name is Xander from Terrytown, and welcome to your Salem 26D bud. I'm just going to start off by saying this unit is not cleaned yet, so it'll look a lot better so when you come and pick it up, it'll look perfect. But I'm just saying in advance that it's not going to be during this video, so don't be afraid. But I'm going to start off with your power tongue jack here. Give a little light just in case you do need to hook up at night. And you have your power tongue up and down right there. Going along with this, since this is electric, obviously, right behind here, you just peel this little black tab up, take it off, insert a tool, and that tool will then act as a manual override. So you stick it in there, you go ahead and crank it, do what you need to do to get this up or down, just in case this ever electrically goes out. Moving on to your propane tanks, all you gotta do, open one or the other, and then it'll then shoot down and then start to flow. Here we are. Couldn't find it for a second. This is gonna be your battery disconnect. So with this, it's just this little key piece here. You just go ahead, stick it in, and then of course when it's on, your battery is going to be connected to the inside of your camper. But when you shut it off, that cuts off the power from your battery to the inside of your camper. So that's why it's called the battery disconnect. And then your battery is right next to it there. Moving on to this cubby here, this is going to be your starter pack. So you're going to have your 110 outlet here. So if you need to plug this into your house to start cooling your fridges or something like that, you're able to do that. This is going to be your 25-foot drinking hose, and right next to it is going to be your sewer hose. I do recommend getting an upgraded one, just because if this does end up breaking or cracking or whatever, your sewer is going to leak everywhere. So just a personal preference or recommendation. Moving on, this is going to be your sewer system. So you are going to have your two gray tanks on the left side here, and then black tank on the right side there. So what you are going to want to do is I highly recommend doing the black tank first, just because that includes solids. So going along with that, open the black tank. All you do is pull that piece there, pull it out. It's going to drain, flush, do whatever you need to do. Once it's done, leave it open, and then put a pressurized hose into this middle piece here. This is gonna be your black tank flush. So when you insert a pressurized hose into there, that activates a small sprinkler inside the black tank to help kind of flush everything out. So if there's any toilet paper that got stuck, it can go ahead and just wash it out. Or once again, any other solids in there will kind of help get flushed out. So when you're done with your black tank flush, go ahead, take your hose out, close that piece up, and then go ahead and open your grays one at a time. I recommend doing the gray tanks last, just because those are the cleanest water. So when it goes to drain, it kind of helps, get the last little bit out of your sewer hose. So when you go ahead and put your hands back on there, you don't have to worry about having extra solids around the rim or anything like that. On to these last little pieces here. This is gonna be your camp power or shore power here. Cable satellite right there. Black tank flush. And then this is gonna be your city water connection. So with your city water connection, all you gotta do, open that up. And then when you get a hose from your campground, just go ahead, stick it right in there, and then that'll then push water through your lines. Moving on to your water heater. Starting off, this is going to be your anode rod. So this anode rod protects your tank. So over time, this is going to deteriorate because it's getting eaten at by the hard water. So you will have to replace this once it gets down to about 50%. You can kind of judge that on whatever you think 50% is. But moving on, you go ahead and stick it right in the hole there. It's a 1 1/16 socket, so go ahead, tighten it down, make sure it is nice and tight. Once it is nice and tight, go to the inside of your camper and turn on the hot side of your faucet. When you have the hot side of the faucet on, it's going to sit there and sputter for a little bit, but that's just all the air getting pushed out of your tank. So once this is in nice and tight and you have a steady flow of water coming out of your hot side of the faucet, then you can go ahead, turn this on, do what you need to do whatever. When it comes time to empty it, just go ahead, pull the pressure release valve here. It's going to sit there and hiss. Once it's done hissing, go ahead, take your socket, pull this back out, and then to make the water go faster, once again, just pull your pressure release up, and then your water will then drain out. So up here, backup camera preps. If you do decide to purchase a backup camera, it'll go right up there. Down here, this is going to be your spare tire. It's not going to be like a donut or anything. It's going to be a legit tire. It's going to be the same one as up front, so you don't have to worry about anything like that. Moving up, freshwater drain. Moving up, you're going to have your 110 outlet here. Input, just in case you do decide to put a TV out here, goes right there. And then your TV backer will be right in here. Just below that is going to be your fresh tank. So if you do decide to go off grid, this is what you would fill up. There we go, it took me a second. But all you do, stick a hose right in there. It's just gonna be gravity fill. Just go ahead, let it fill up. And then when it's time to use, all you do is flip on your water pump, and then that will then start to suck water from that and end up pushing it through your lines. If you do have extra water after your vacation, you go down here, right behind there, there's that white little piece there. There's a handle right there. All you do is go ahead and pull that, and then the rest will drain. This is your furnace exhaust. So when your furnace is on, all the excess heat is going to kick out of here. So when you do go, if this is on, you have little kids walking around or anything like that, just be careful. Do not touch this because they will get burned. Little spray port here. So if you ever need to spray anything off, you just go ahead, stick the hose in there. You can go ahead and spray it, since it's right next door. You can do fish, food, anything you need to do with that. This is going to be your outside little kitchen area. Of course, you're going to have your little mini fridge here, and then going along with your griddle here comes with your LP gas hose. That gas plugs in right behind this, so it'll go right there, and then it'll plug in just underneath right here. So just go ahead, plug it right in there, and then your gas will then start to flow through and give your griddle propane. Coming in here, this is going to be your hitch work, so your salesman will go over all of this with you. But then right back there is going to be that little outside hose for your spray port down there. And then one last little thing before we head inside, that's right on top. There's a black little piece that is going to be a manual override. So if you peel that black tab off, insert I believe it's a 10mm socket, you can go ahead and take that back in or out just in case that ever electrically goes out. Moving to the inside, this is going to be your power panel here. So starting up top, you're gonna have your battery reader, fresh tank, black tank, and then your grays. And then just beneath it, you're going to have your water pump. So if you need that fresh tank use, go ahead, flick that, and it'll draw water from that fresh tank. Water heater switch, so when your anode rod is in, you have a steady flow of water coming out the hot side of the faucet. Go ahead, flick this up. Always you have your lights here, which one's gonna be your on light, one is gonna be that light up there. And then you just have this little dimmer switch to turn these lights on. And once again, if you tap and hold, they'll dim down. Tap and hold again, they'll brighten right back up. Allows you for slide out button on the left here. So I'm just gonna reel it in a little bit just so you kind of know what it sounds like. Because some people do get nervous when it fully extends because it sounds like this. It's completely normal. It just means you're fully extended. Once you hear that noise, stop. You don't have to worry about it damaging anything. You'll be just fine. So just know that's when you need to stop. Same goes for your awning. All you do is hold the out button. It's a little close to this other camper, so I can't exactly open it up. But the main things you are going to want to look for is the excess flap kind of coming down, and you'll be able to see the bars on just behind it. So what I mean by that is when it fully extends, if you keep rolling, it's going to reel in the opposite way and end up breaking it. So just a little forewarning there. Otherwise, your keys here, purples, are going to be for your main doors and baggage doors. And then this is going to be, main doors and then your baggage doors right up here. Moving forward, this is going to be your sound bar. There we go. Smooth one. Just give it a second if you turn on. Radio up and down with the volume buttons here. Zone 1, inside speakers, which you can turn off. Zone 2, outside speakers, which you can turn off. Or you can just go ahead and mute both with this button right here. It says mute on. Otherwise, you can select what you need, just in case you need to do, equalizer. So you can go through here, balance, left and right, keep that going. And then you can go ahead and select the mode. So you can go between TV, Bluetooth, radio, whatever you need to do. Otherwise, you just tap, says goodbye, and you're good to go. Far right button is going to be your on. Just to the left of it is going to be your time. So it goes up to 9 hours. And then you go ahead, right next to it is going to be your fan speed, so you have low and high. And then right next to that is going to be your rock color. And of course, your flame color there. Moving on, microwave. Pretty self-explanatory. Otherwise, right here is going to be your light, and then fan. And then for your oven, all you do is turn on the light, and you press, turn, and then that'll ignite the gas, and you go ahead and spark to the right. So same goes for the rest of these two. And then for your oven, it's going to be the same thing. You press, turn, and then right at the pilot symbol. And in the very back, you're going to see a small little flame appear right back there. Once you see that flame, then go ahead and turn to your desired temperature. So all you need to do is, once again, is press, turn to the pilot, sit there and spark, watch that back. Once you see the flame, then go ahead and turn. Just be patient with that because, there we go. Just be patient because it could take 2 tries, could take 20 tries. The gas just isn't purged through the system. So sometimes it can light right away, sometimes it won't. So just be patient, it's not broken. Just up here is going to be your temperature. So the higher the number, the colder it gets. And then same for the back here. It's gonna be all the way in the back. It's just a little turn nozzle, just turn it. Far right is gonna be the coldest, and then left is just gonna be cold. Just underneath here, breaker box, breakers and fuses. I do recommend bringing extra fuses though, but that's just a personal recommendation. Thermostat here, tap to turn on. Goes between fan settings, so low, high, cool settings. So this is your AC, high, low, low auto, high auto, and then heat, which is of course your furnace. And then you control your temperature with the up and down arrows there. Just below that, this is going to be your carbon monoxide detector. With this, you are going to want to be careful because this green light indicates that it's on, and since it never turns off as a safety feature, means it could drain your battery. So what I do recommend doing is if you can leave your camper for about 3 to 4 days, just to be on the safe side, go ahead and just take the negative end off of your battery. Or on some models, you'd have to kind of play around with it, but you will be able to just turn the battery disconnect off. Sometimes some units do, some don't, just as, once again, safety features. So just make sure you double check, play with your battery disconnect first. If that green light turns off, then you're good to go. But if it's off and this is still on, then go ahead and take the negative end off of your battery. Or if you're storing it all winter, then you can go ahead and take your battery out and put it into your basement or a heated garage. And then really just the main things you need to know about the bathroom is that you're going to need toilet solution along with RV grade toilet paper. The toilet paper will help kind of break down easier so you don't have to worry about clogging. And then the solution will help break down solids and smells to kind of help do the same thing. A, eliminate smells like I said, and then B, solids. So same thing with the toilet paper. It'll just kind of help break down everything easier so you won't have to worry about your black tank. And then you can also, with these lights, you can section them off. So if you want these on, you can have them on, or just press the middle and turn these off. For your AC, if you want just a dump straight out the bottom, leave these open. If you want it throughout your ceiling, just to kind of spread air out, go ahead, close these. It's all gonna be ducted, so as soon as you do, it'll start to flow throughout. And then right in here, your TV, you have your TV backer location, and you have the input and 110 outlets there. Otherwise, that kind of breaks it down for your orientation. If you do have any questions, feel free to write them down, bring them in. Whoever's doing your orientation will help you answer those, and then we'll get you on your way. Otherwise, that has been your orientation. Enjoy.